For the past 2 centuries, the world has witnessed a certain country rise to power, that being the United States. The US takes pride in its differences among the rest of the world, from our cuisine to our sports. However, there's one key difference the US shares from the rest of the world that's easily ignored. Our cities are terrible. That is, if you're trying to get around one. A city's identity is largely made up by its transportation infrastructure. Cities like Venice, New Delhi, or Paris all have their own unique distinctions. American cities are different. Across the country, you'll find that most cities around America share a distinction from those around the world. They're grids. And they all look pretty much the same. From San Francisco to New York, you'll find that most of these cities are built on the same footprint that's now pretty hard to get around. This is Midtown Manhattan, by the way. So why the grid? Ever since the ancient Greek period, this gridiron layout originated from an ancient Greek architect named Hippodamus of Miletus. And while he may not have entirely invented the gridiron plan, he got the credit for it, calling it the Hippodamian plan. A city would be composed of a single grid with organized square city blocks. This allowed for regular flow of pedestrian traffic. This design was made to be a universal city design adaptable to any terrain or location. Ancient Rome was actually specifically famous for the adoption of this plan. Their largest cities were open and mobile, which in turn allowed for an incredibly efficient society. In the Enlightenment in the 17th and 18th centuries, architects and city planners around Europe looked to these ancient cities, specifically in Rome or Greece, as sources of reference in designing the largest cities that still stand in Europe today. During the expansion of North America, the abundance of room allowed for more and more of these grid towns to be set up. The gridiron layout was adopted to facilitate rapid growth in real estate, and as the decades moved on and America moved westward, more and more of these cities popped up under the same design, and today you won't be able to go very long without seeing another one. So why has this seemingly impeccable design started to fail? A big reason is cars. The past century has seen our city streets go from pedestrians and carriages to just cars with pedestrians cramped on either side. A big problem facing cities in the 21st century is that they have been re-engineered to serve the car rather than the person. So the rise of automobiles have taken advantage of this maneuverable gridiron pattern and created busy, congested streets all across the US. For a plan that was designed to improve congestion, moving around cities like New York or Chicago on ground level seems awfully difficult. This flaw has led to innovations like the subway or elevated rail lines, but those innovations only came out of the necessity to get off the road and away from cars. Cars have also taken over the physical environment of our cities. Parks and public land are being torn down and replaced with parking space and roads. In a study done by the Research Institute of Housing America, while there are only around 720,000 people in the city of Seattle, Washington, they have 1.6 million parking spots. That's absurd. Cars aren't just affecting our cities either. In suburban areas across the US, over the past century, we've seen our cities and towns go from looking like this to looking like this. And there's a name for this. It's called urban sprawl. Ever since the 1940s, the rapid exodus of people from urban areas and cities into suburban areas has fueled this asphalt monstrosity, and our dependence on cars has only grown. So, what's the solution? Obviously, there are ways to reduce the impacts cars have on our roads, but that's not all that simple. And while recently a lot of attention is being focused on electric cars and self-driving vehicles, that doesn't fix our problem. At the end of the day, there is still the same amount of cars on the road, if not more. American society as a whole is rooted around the automobile. We've made it nearly impossible to live and work without a car in the US. And a dramatic conversion to public transportation and bicycles is a lot harder than it sounds. In 2019, only 5% of workers took public transportation to work. So in this auditorium, there are around, give or take, 100 or so people. So that means 5 of you would have taken a bus or train to work today. However, an interesting solution is being tested in Barcelona, a city that's quite famous for its gridiron layout. They have struggled with congestion for decades. Their plan is called superblocks. What are they? Superblocks are pedestrian-friendly areas of a city designed to restrict the use of cars and promote walkability. New signage and one-way roads can allow for cars to move in and out, but not through. And without the need for new construction or road work, these interior streets can become places for walking traffic, which can be incredibly beneficial to both the people and the local economy. This idea is being tested in Vienna, Austria, and in Seattle, legislators are trying to push for the concept there. In a city where people are walking rather than driving, everybody benefits. Parks get put in and storefronts pop up. People grow a lot more thoughtful of the environment around them when they aren't just driving through it. And now, while this idea won't completely derail our use of cars, it's certainly refreshing to envision a future where our dependency on them isn't negatively affecting the places we live. Thank you.